Hey guys, welcome to my June wrap up. I might sound a little husky because I'm kind of sick. Usually I have this huge stack of books to show you in my wrap ups, but I don't have as many books that I finished this month because the ones that I did read pretty huge. First book I read was a library book called A Glittering Court, or The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. This book is about a girl who's kind of wealthy in the 1800s-esque type world, and she's going into an arranged marriage and she doesn't want to, so she runs away to this place called the Glittering Court. And the Glittering Court is where these usually poor girls go to learn to become proper ladies, and then they're sent to this poorer colony and auctioned off as wives. And honestly, the thing that bothered me most about this book, without spoilers or anything, is that she kind of runs from one situation to an almost identical situation that seems almost worse. And it's kind of presented as this better option. And I get that she will have at least some degree of choice in the second option, but like, you're going from an arranged marriage to being auctioned for marriage. Does that bother no one else? It seemed pointless to run away from one and go to the other, because they're both the same thing. So yeah, I didn't particularly enjoy this book and probably won't be continuing with the series just because I didn't enjoy the story that much. So let's move on to the next book I read. Next book I read was Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson and Robin Wasserman. This book is a collection of short stories to do with the Mortal Instruments series. Can't really go into the plot or anything because it's like a good decent chunk through the story and it would spoil things. But honestly, there were a lot of similarities between this and Harry Potter, just because the Shadowhunter Academy was kind of like Hogwarts in some ways. Like, don't come at me saying like, oh, it's not like Harry Potter. Like, I know it's not, but there were just some similarities in the fact that it was a school training people to become superhuman type things. You know, it was really enjoyable. I really liked it. I absolutely flew through this book. I think I read it in like 2 days, and look at the size of it, it's huge. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this book and about Cassandra Clare in general is that her writing and her characters have this really great witty banter that's just really entertaining to read, and you can just laugh along with it, and I really appreciate that. I think sense of humour carries that kind of darkness that she plays with, and I think it's just necessary and also really entertaining. So I really enjoyed this book and would recommend if you like the Mortal Instruments series at all. The next book I read is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Dark Artifices trilogy, which comes after the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, and it's part of this massive huge world that she has created. And honestly, I kind of love this book. I think it might have been my favourite book of hers to date. The pacing was really great. You're drawn right into the story. I can't go into plot because obviously spoilers, and it's like the most recent of like 10 books or something like that. It was a really enjoyable book. I loved reading it. I'm so sad that the next one isn't out for like 2 years because she's starting another series, I think in the same world. And honestly, I don't know where I'm going to put all these books. They're kind of taking over the top shelf of my bookshelf. And the only thing I didn't like about this book is that I had to rearrange my entire top shelf in order to make it fit beside the other books. That was the last book that I finished, but I'm currently reading 2 books. That's right, you heard me. 2 books. Usually I don't read 2 books at a time, but I decided to finally pick up Anna Karenina. That's right, this is a book that's been on my shelf since before I started BookTube. I finally decided to just read it because I was just like, you know, it's been so long. It's kind of ridiculous, and I have this summer, so I'm just gonna read Anna Karenina. And the reason that I picked up a second book while reading this is because, like most old books, it's divided into parts, and I was like, the only way I'm gonna get through this book is if after every part I read like a chapter of another book that's kind of faster paced and just a little different. So I decided to also pick up Heartless by Marissa Meyer because this is one of the books I was so excited about the release for and haven't got around to reading yet. So I read a chapter of this, a part of this. Chapter of this, a part of this, and it's been working pretty well so far. I'm currently about 1/5 of the way through Anna Karenina, and only like a tiny portion of the way through this, but so far really enjoyable. If you don't know what Anna Karenina is, it is a classic about an affair, basically set in Russia. Love Russia, so had to read it. Heartless is the Queen of Tarts from Alice in Wonderland backstory retelling type thing. Really enjoyable so far. Very different to her Lunar Chronicles so far. Like, I mean, I'm only 2 chapters in, but very different to her Lunar Chronicles books. So I'm excited to see where this goes. So here are the books that I read / am reading this month. Also The Glittering Court. We're going to pretend that that's here. Pretend it's in the shot. Use your imagination. You're a reader, you're good at that. These 3 books are finished. These 2 books are currently reading. They are all the books that I read this month. They have been nicely wrapped and parceled and delivered to you in this video format. Let me know what your favourite book this month was. Mine was definitely Lord of Shadows. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.